Welcome to another session called the Red Lab project. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what is the lab project all about. So in this project, we are going to combine everything that you have learned into one single program. The objective of the lab project is as follows. We will combine the basic RED together with the desktop capture and also the keylogger to produce one single program, and that is the objective. If you recall, the basic RED uses the traditional socket programming to implement the remote command execution as well as port binding shell. Desktop capture and keylogger both use the remoting technology to implement them. So let's see how we can combine them. So the user interface design for each of these components are as follows. So we'll have this original user interface design, which we did in the very early lessons in this course, where we have a tab control that contains 3 pages. The first page is the basic page which has all the basic buttons, message box, beep, play sound, shutdown client, and also a picture box to show the port binding shell that we get from the client, and also a toolstrip status. So this will be the user interface which we have already completed in the first section of this course, that is called the basic RED. Now we are going to add in the second tab page, which is the remote desktop. So if you click on remote desktop, you should be able to see this remote desktop, and this is what we are going to implement. And we have already done this as a standalone by itself. Now we are going to combine it into the second tab. So that is the desktop capture, and this is all the familiar buttons which we have already done before. And also the third UI interface is the keylogger interface, which is for the third tab. If you click on the third tab, it takes you to the keylogger page, and this is the familiar user interface which we have done before, and it contains the text box that will show the keystrokes that has been captured from the client, and also contains 2 buttons at the bottom. So all this will be combined into one single app. So that is the objective of the project. And this is the design of the solution folder that I will propose in order to implement this lab. So we'll create a solution folder called Red Final Project, and inside this you will have 3 projects. You will have the command and control server, the RED client, and also the remoting interface. So the command and control server, you notice that I have split it into several files. We have the main file, which is the form 1. The form 1 is where the program will start, and I've split it into 2, remote desktop and remote keylogger. So all the code containing the remote desktop will be separated out into one class called remote desktop class, and all the code containing the remote keylogger will be put into a separate class called the remote keylogger class. So this makes your code more modular and easier to maintain. The same principle is also being used when we are implementing the RED client. So the RED client, also now I've split out one single file into 3 parts, into 3 classes. The client basic will contain all the code pertaining to the socket programming, which will be all the code for the basic RED here. And then the client desktop will contain the code for the remote desktop capture, and the client keylogger will contain all the code for the keylogging. So this also makes your program more modular for the RED client. And finally, the remoting interface. The remoting interface will combine all the advertised functions, put it into one single desktop interface. So this is basically the plan for the solution. So I will encourage you to try to do this yourself, and if you, after having tried it, you can go ahead and watch the upcoming practical walkthroughs on how I would solve this challenge. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.